Hi, this is Shadi. A while back I did a video about the lost grappling techniques of Kendo, where I showed this sequence of someone losing their weapons. They would clinch, someone would do a takedown, and then the fight goes to the ground. Now, I've talked also about Tennen Rishin Ryu, which they do that quite a lot. So there's actually a lot of people that train in the old arts of war and actually do reenactments of these war sequences. So someone sent this to me yesterday. We'll go through it. You will see the intensity of how they do it and actually see the big finishes. So here we start with the old ones. You see the clinch is very quick. You see the intensity of how they strike each other, and they're very quick to really get in close to their foe and take them down and actually finish the job as quick as possible. This isn't like your classical tactical match of Kendo. So here you see the neon belly with the multiple stabbings, the Osoto Otoshi. You take out the knife, then you finish them off rather quickly. This is Osoto Otoshi because they put their they anchored their foot on the ground and then they drop them using the upper body or the clinch. So this is something that's also used in MMA as well. This is Zabit Magomed Sharipov doing it very skillfully. So here you see, once again, you would see like the intensity of how they strike each other. Like if you watch a Kendo match, you would see that it's far more technical and far more technical than this. This is easily done with the viciousness to kill and not so much to score an ippon, as you would see here, even though they're reenacting it, but you can clearly see the intensity that which they train in. So here you see a Kosoto Gake followed by side control, neon belly, and multiple stabbings. Not so much room for newaza on the battlefield. So Kosoto Gake is actually one of the most used takedowns in MMA. All the MMA people that I have covered in the octagon, they all shared one technique, and that technique was Kosoto Gake, the major outer block or hook, where you go outside, you block, and then you take them down with the upper body. So let's start with the first one. Royce Gracie used it very early on in the UFC, hooks the leg on the outside, rotates to get away from the cage and takes him down, and then proceeds to mount and finish off the fight. So more clinching into Uki Otoshi, and then side control. Neon belly proceeds to use the weapon. Again, not so much room for newaza, but instead of the ground and pound here, it's actually the finishing stabs, basically. Uki Otoshi is the first technique you would learn in Nage no Kata. We were just training this yesterday as part of Nage no Kata. We need to understand that in kata form or drills, sometimes it may look very much different. I'm sure you can relate. You drill something, BJJ or whatever you happen to train, but once you are doing randori, it might look a lot different. So here you see the ippon. The ippon symbolizes someone's death because they are put in that very vulnerable position, as you saw on the battlefield, and thus they proceed to finish them off. Here you see it looks very different. This is from Mongolian wrestling, but nonetheless the mechanics are the same here. And finally, of course, we can't talk about old samurai or old jujutsu without a proper sutemiwaza like tomoe-nage and sumi-gaeshi here. So it can be either tomoe-nage, as you see here. It's very famous and one of the most highest scoring sacrificing techniques in judo. And of course you have sumi-gaeshi. Sumi-gaeshi is also very popular in BJJ because you just have to hook the inner thigh and complete the roll. There's not much room to lift like in tomoe-nage. So it's a roll, it's a corner reversal. That's what it means, sumi-gaeshi, or edge reversal. You see you hook the inner thigh rather than block the stomach. So sutemiwaza can also be very beneficial for battle because you can easily keep rolling, then end up on top, ready for the finish. As you see here, Maruyama can roll on the shoulder and be on top of Abe, who has his belly down. So here you can also see clinch and strikes and eye gouges, not only grappling. Here you see pushing the face, putting the fingers in the face, and also doing, whatever it's, whatever it takes in order to finish off the opponent. That's the battlefield. That's the real life scenario that they are trying to reenact, basically. Here you see I would say Tani Otoshi, or a sacrificing Kosoto Gake in a sense. Again, Tani Otoshi is one of the most used takedowns in MMA, just like Kosoto Gake. So, because they have basically the same entry, but one you sacrifice yourself holding them, and one you have to block their leg. Here, let's see it more in a judo context. So here you see sleeve and lapel. You actually post your leg down. You don't actually block the legs with your own, because that would actually rip your knee. Many people have made that mistake and they injured themselves. So we need to understand the mechanics of this. You actually clinch, you post your leg down, and then you proceed to, go over your shoulder, taking them down with you. Actually, Royce Gracie used this against Cam Shamrock in their rematch at old age, or at the veteran stage. I'll show you the clip in a second. So here, you grab the leg as in a knee pick, and then you continue with Tani Otoshi. So here, let's see Royce Gracie from the clinch. He is clinching Ken Shamrock. He has him on a blind side and puts him very close to him, because however he moves, then he will take him down with him. So here you see he's stretching his leg out, sacrifices himself backwards, and takes Shamrock with him down. He didn't block his leg, notice, he just posted it, and then proceeds to get on top and strikes him down, very much like what we just saw in those reenactments. But this is in MMA context, obviously a more controlled environment, no weapons, no striking on the groin. So I just want to say this, many people in my last video were very quick to point out the striking in old judo or the old jujutsu, and they were very, I would say they were mocking, saying, this is mystical, and putting forbidden in quotation, saying this is nonsense, while they're actually showing the same principles as you just saw, whether it's MMA or the old battlefield tactics. They get on top, they strike in a very uncomfortable area, or they would stab like in the old days. So I don't know why people were just very quick to mock when they're actually performing the same principles. Do you not understand MMA or BJJ to get in a favorable position and then finish someone off? I don't know why people were very quick to mock this. I know some people made mystical claims about all martial arts or old martial arts, but that's not the case with all of them. Jujutsu eventually gave birth to Judo, and then someone took Newaza and really went with it, and then it became BJJ with IBJJF. So again, mocking the old one or the big ancestor really makes no sense in my opinion, and those, I'm pretty sure they do not understand the principles of MMA, of getting into a favorable position and then finishing off with a lot of striking or stabbing in the case of the battlefield. So if you have anything else to add, please let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon for exclusive content only. So, Swiss Shadi, and as always, thank you for listening.